Right. It's showing I'm live. There's Midnight Joker and there's Yappy. No, you're not late, Yappy. It's I'm early actually by 13 minutes. There's Baz. Rated R Woodturning. How you doing? Mark, how you doing, mate? Fred, Wayne, Douglas. Who else we got coming in? Guys, I apologize, but I'm just waiting for is it Matt? No, it's not Matt. Crosscut Creations to turn up. He's on his way. He'll be here within like 10 minutes, I'd imagine. So you're stuck with me for a minute. Look at all this. Look at this mess up here. What we could do, guys, just have a Q&A or something. I don't know. We'll just wait for him to turn up. Let's just have a look, see if he... No, he hasn't put anything else. Let's have a look. Oh, Wacky Works Woodshop. How you doing, mate? Oh, excuse me. I've got a bit of indigestion. JP. Harnell Media. We've got Keith, Circular Wood by Keith, Tommy Dunn, Mark the Gentleman Woodturner, the Klondike Craftsman. Who else we've got? BB Turning. Like I say, guys, just bear with me. Just waiting for Crosscut Creations to jump in. I think it's just getting changed. So let's have a look. Who's that? Barry's Wood Creations as well. How you doing? Like I say, we can just do a Q&A for 10 minutes if you want. Not that I've got anything interesting to give you. I don't know. Maybe you lot could invade me. Let's see if I can see the writing. If I put it on YouTube, I can see the writing. Rich, what is he turning into? What's who turning into? Have we frozen? No. The eye candy of my shows, that's me. Yes, I am tired, Yappy. Cheryl dragged me along the trailway for 10 miles today. She was on her scooter and I was pedaling away. Nice and gentle, though. Get back into it. What size shoes do you wear? I wear a size 8. Oh, what length did you make your shave horse? Shall I measure it? Hang on a minute. So the shave horse is 53 inches, which is 1 meter. Well, it's about 1,380 mil. So it's not bad. Let's have a look. What else we got? Anything interesting? From circuits to... No, Douglas. Is that me? You said you were waiting for circular to turn in. No, Crosscut Creations. BB Turning. Are you talking about Dale? Dale, when I left his live a minute ago, when he turned it off, he was just shy. So he needs 37 subscribers to hit the 1,000. More questions. I'm being eaten. Hi, Larry. Larry's in. Wendy's in as well. Hi, Wendy. Herb, Barry's Wood Creations. I think I've read everyone out now, haven't I? Let's have a look, see if he's there. No, he's not there yet. So, can you see this behind me? This thing. That thing there. That's a sneak peek at the next video coming up. If you're interested, that is. So, any more questions for me while we're waiting? Let's have a look. So, that's a good one, Mark. What's your favorite aspect of the makers community? I think it's community itself. It's hundreds and hundreds of years of experience. It's people that are trying things for the first time. It's people helping each other and receiving help. So it's my favorite aspect of the maker community is the community itself. Thanks, Mark. No, Yappy. So this thing here is actually a upcycle project. It started life as a chest of drawers. What's that say? Rich 430 beer. Oh, okay, cool. Anyone else? Come on, you've got to have something. Got to have something to ask me. Unless I've told you all everything about me anyway. That still works fine. Do you remember that? We made it live. Aha! Right. So, Crosscut Creations. So, we are... Hey, mate, we're already live. I've been sitting here chatting to people in the chat waiting for you. So, can you hear me all right?
I can.
You can. Brilliant.
Yes.
Now, guys, let me just get close to this. So, we actually filmed this last week, didn't we?
Yeah, something like that.
And I downloaded it from StreamYard, and I could hear everything you were saying, but nothing I was saying. So I've had to ditch it. So thankfully, you can manage to come on tonight. So this is why we're an hour later tonight, guys. We were gonna record this tonight, but Dale was finishing at 9, and there was no one else taking over from Dale for at 9. It only makes sense to jump in. So we've got quite a few people waiting. I'm just going to run through them again. So we got Midnight Joker, we got Yappy, Baz from Real Simple Things, Rated R Woodturning, Mark the Gentle Woodturner, Fred Taylor, Wayne Bigfoot. We've got Douglas Mungum, Wacky Works Woodshop. Guys, go out and check out Wacky Works Woodshop. You might see him come on this show soon. We've got JP Woodwork. Let's have a look. Harnell Media. We got Circular Wood by Keith, Tommy Dunn, Douglas. Oh, I've read out Douglas Mullen. The Klondike Craftsman, BB Turning, Barry's Wood Creations, Herb Hopper, Let's have a look. Anyone else? Toonfish Crafts, Andy from AH Bespoke, Larry C. Who else? The Flaming Turner, Ruben. I think, unless I've missed anybody. Oh, Thrifty's in. I've seen Thrifty for a while. Hodgepodge Woodworks. There you go. We got through eventually. So there's quite a few people watching. Shall we crack on? I mean, first of all, how you doing? Are you well?
Things are good. Things are busy, but they're good.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, then cool. Like I say, I do appreciate you racing home and quickly getting changed and getting put out in the workshop last minute. So,
not a problem.
Okay, so shall we crack on? Yep.
Let's do it.
Excellent. So, first of all, for those of the people that are in the chat and they're going to be watching this when it's it's up on the channel, ready to be viewed, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living, and where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm actually from Ohio in the United States. I teach full time for a living, and then so my shop is a hobby shop. So I just picked this up as a stress relief, and that's pretty much what I do. I also work at a minor league baseball stadium in the summer to make a few extra bucks and get paid to watch baseball and take care of fans. So life is good.
That's brilliant. So do you get like a box? Do they have boxes in baseball like football? Like a private viewing area? So you haven't got to, mingle with all the fans.
Yeah, we don't where I work. We don't necessarily have a box, but I do get to know quite a few of the season ticket holders and the fans. So it's a good time. It's a great atmosphere, and it's one of the fun jobs.
Yeah. Well, if you're into that, if you're into baseball and all that sort of thing, then why not?
Absolutely. It doesn't get much better than getting paid to watch baseball and doing maybe just a little bit of work in between.
Yeah. I used to do security for like concerts for star singers.
Yeah.
Some big names.
Oh. Yeah, we have a venue like that I did that for a couple of years as well. That I heard some really good shows.
Yeah. I did Status Quo. I did the security for them. That was good. I've done loads of footballers security, personal security for footballers, and let me tell you, they are. I can't swear. If I could swear, I'd swear. They're not very nice people. Anyway, so, YouTube. Why YouTube? What made you upload that very first video to YouTube?
So, when my wife and I had gotten married, we got our first apartment. After about a year, we decided to start looking for houses. Well, when we got our house, you didn't have Mr. or Mrs. Landlord to call if something was, if something needed fixed. So I just started YouTubing, how to fix this, how to fix that. And on one of the recommended videos, the one day I was looking for something, how to fix whatever it was. One of Keith Rucker from vintagemachinery.org, one of his videos showed up, and it was a 20 or 30 minute video on how to build a bench. So I just happened to click on it just for the heck of it. And after watching it, I said, that looks doable if I get a few tools. Well,
yeah.
One video led to the next, led to the next, led to the next. And then before I knew it, things kind of shifted from house projects to, making physical items. So over time, I just kind of gradually collected tools. And to get back to the why YouTube question, honestly, it's just to give back. I don't think that I necessarily bring anything original, but I just saw that there was such a community that I figured if I was gaining information from all of these awesome creators, that I would at least put my spin on things and just put some stuff out there just to kind of be part of the community.
It's like what I was saying before you came into. We was just having a little chat in the chat. The community itself, the YouTube community, the maker community. There is hundreds and hundreds of years of experience there, you know, ready to be tapped, and ready to, you know, give back, receive, you know, experience and giving experience. So, that's right. I'm still looking at my board up here because I've got 2 boards now with all the questions on, just to confuse myself even more. So, inspirations. Is there any one or anything, or what inspires you to do what you do?
You know, that honestly, as I was going through and watching videos, now we got our house almost 6 years ago at this point. To this day, I still haven't built a bench, but I've made a ton of other things. So it's still on the list. But one of the channels that I came across that I really latched onto was Rjb Woodturner, Bob Blanford. He turns a bunch of pens, and he does a lot of lathe work. And for whatever reason, that really just stuck with me. And that's what I mainly do now is lathe work. The other person that really got me started in the YouTube game in the first place was Bob Lee. He has his channel, Bob Lee's Woodshop and Other Things. I knew when I was starting out that I was shooting my videos on an iPad, so I knew he shot on an iPad, and I sent him a message and just said, you know, hey Bob, what kind of tips and tricks do you have, if you mind sharing them? He gave me a call the next day, and we talked for 3 hours like it was, you know, it was effortless. And it turns out that he actually lives like an hour down the road from me, so we've actually been to each other's shops, and he's helped me make a few things, and we've done some projects together. So those are probably 2 of my biggest influences, but I could sit here and list, inspirations all day.
Yeah. There's so many out there, isn't there?
There really is. It just, the list never ends. And I know that if I started, I would never end. And I'd forget 1 or 2 or 10 people.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a few more people coming to the chat. We've got SK Crafts, Wayne the Woodturner. We've got Maple Tree Studios, Dale from Maple Tree Studios. We've got my dad, Colin Bennett. We've got Richard Fallon. Who else? Yeah, so that's, unless I've missed anyone. Robert Dolman. Sorry, Robert. So shall we have actually, no, I've missed summer. Hang on a minute. See, this is the problem you get when you just do things live like this. What we're going to do, we're going to have a little look at your channel. Here we go. See, normally, guys, anyone that's done this, anyone's been invaded by me, we cut all this out. But tonight we can't, so you're going to see it raw, bareback. Right then. Okay, right. So this is your channel, your YouTube channel. You're currently on 1,070 odd subscribers. How many videos you got on here? Do you know?
I think it's somewhere around 110, give or take.
Yeah. Oh, nice beard. Shop update 2018.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, because there's all sorts of stuff on here, isn't there? There's a lot of pen turning. It's all woodwork though, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's mostly making based. A lot of my most recent videos have been turning related, just because I've taken more to the lathe than general woodworking. But I'll still throw a project out every once in a while that's not a turning project. And really, that since the whole state of the world went to the way it is, I have until recently I've been doing live streams So that's been most of my recent videos. So I really need to get back to filming videos to put out that aren't live streams.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Right. Shall we have a little tour of your shop? Is that all right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right. So what I'm gonna do?
Yeah, so we'll try to make everybody not too seasick here. Let me see.
This is it. This is the good thing about doing this. It's real, you know.
Let's go to the camera and we'll go ahead and flip to the other side. So here's the doors to my shop. There's 2 doors there, but it's separated with just like a shower liner just to try to contain some of the dust. Yeah. So I actually come into my shop through those doors, and then this is what I typically see. So if we go clockwise, the first thing, I'm standing in the doorway now. Here's my rigid table saw. I use it mostly to cut up pen blanks and turning blanks and other things, because I also do a lot of resin casting. If I move to the left, now my shop isn't the cleanest right now, but I'm also trying to clean it up, because eventually I will be in a new shop. It's just a matter of time and figuring out when that'll be and where that'll be. Immediately to the left is my sharpening system for my lathe tools. I have the Rjb slow speed grinder, and then I have the Wolverine jig, so I use that to sharpen. And then sorry guys, on these other shelves, I just have some miscellaneous, some lapping fluids, some sanding discs. The box, this blue and black box here, that's a shoebox filled with pen blanks that I want to turn at some point. If we go further down the wall on the shop, that's the other thing. In my next shop, the wall space will be more effectively used for sure. But this is the first power saw that I really had, which is also the inspiration for the channel name Crosscut Creations. Since this was my first power saw, it was a 10-inch sliding Rjb miter saw. I just decided to go with Crosscut Creations because that's what I started on.
Oh, right.
If we move along, in the corner, I have a dedicated dust collector. It's a Harbor Freight, and I went ahead and modified it to a 2-stage. So what I ended up doing was I got one of the lids from Woodcraft, and then got a trash can here, put the 2 hoses on so the big stuff falls in here, the little stuff falls over here. So changing that out is super convenient and easy. If we move along the back wall, I have a lot of my benchtop tools. Sorry guys, I know moving this is a pain.
That's all right.
It's raw, it's live.
Yeah, it's good.
But I have my Rjb disc and belt sander right here. I square up some pen blanks on that a lot, and then if I have any other belt sanding operations, obviously it gets used as a belt sander then. But mostly I use that to square up and I guess it's not barrel trimming, but square up pen blanks. I've got the Rjb 10-inch bandsaw. I cut a lot of blanks to size on that saw. The other few tools over here, I have a spindle sander that, as you can tell, doesn't get a whole lot of use, or at least isn't getting a whole lot of use right now. But when it's the right tool for the job, this thing doesn't get a lot of use, but it is super handy when I need it.
Yeah.
Right now, the router table and the router are over here. It's out of commission right now, mostly because I think my router just decided to give up. So I still have to do a little more research to figure out if it's if it's fixable, or if I'm going to be in the market for a new router. And then finally, I have the Piranha XL Next Wave Automation CNC. So it has a 12 by 24 cutting capacity, 12 inch by 24 inch cutting capacity. So I'm able to do some moderately sized sign work and other operations there. Here's my lack of a clamp storage system. These are just kind of sitting on the sitting by the bench, and then even below here at my feet, I have my compressor. This is the compressor I use for when I cast resin blanks. Basically, it's just a little Porter cable pancake compressor, 6-gallon deal. Honestly, for most of what I do, it does the job. My only complaint is that it's insanely loud, but it does the job, so can't be too upset. This bench has kind of become a catch-all of everything, so I've been trying to clean that up a little bit at a time. In my next shop, I definitely want a dedicated outfeed table to go with my table saw. That would more or less replace this bench. In my at least that's my thought. The only reason I haven't made a dedicated outfeed table for this table saw at this point is because I've been honestly, I know that I'm not going to be here long term, so whatever I put in here, I'm going to have to take out of here. So in a basement shop, whatever comes down into the basement also has to go up out of the basement. So I've been holding off on that. And then up here we have a Rjb air filtration 400 system. It does a pretty good job of getting all the ambient dust out of the air, cleaning the ambient air, things like that. Now, if we keep moving on, I have a toolbox full of just general woodworking, not woodworking, but general like tools like wrenches, sandpaper, as you can see, just general screwdrivers, things like that are handy. So that doesn't get opened often, but occasionally it happens. And then if we move a little further, we have the drill press. This is an older AMT drill press that I got at a garage sale. I would eventually like to upgrade this, but for a $50 garage sale find, it's done exactly what I need it to do. My planer here is the DeWalt 734. It's on wheels, so I'm able to move it out of the corner, hook it up to dust collection, plug it in, plane, and then move it back. So I still have some operating room in the shop. And then,
something that's not used very often, is it? A planer?
No, it was used a little more when I was doing more general woodworking, but it's still super convenient to have. So I'm not looking to get rid of it anytime soon, because one of the things that I want to do when I get into the new shop, wherever that ends up being, is do more things like coffee tables and do other things that aren't turning. It's not that I don't like turning anymore. It's just that when I get more space, I'll be able to do larger projects more easily. And then from here's the lack of wood storage. Most of the pile that's here is gifted from Bob Lee. I went over to his shop and he's like, "Here, do you need this? Do you need that?" So, Bob has a heart of gold, and I'm still waiting for that perfect project for some of these. In here, that's really dark in there. There is a light somewhere in there, but that's also more wood storage. Got a couple slabs in there, some cherry, some walnuts, some maple, a little bit of everything. And then here is the lathe that I use. It is a Rjb. It is the 70-220 VSR, variable speed reverse. This thing, I absolutely love this thing. This is the workhorse in my shop. And when I upgraded from the Harbor Freight lathe, it was night and day, just how crazy of a difference it was. So there's the lathe. I have my lathe tool wall over here. And some of these tools were handmade, and some of them were store-bought. This one here is the T-Shadow negative rake scraper. There it is. This is probably my absolute favorite tool right now, just because it leaves an amazing finish.
It's got a tiny little handle on, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a small handle. It's pretty much, the size of your hand. So, I used to not be a big fan of smaller handles. I did like the larger handles, because I do have this guy that is the it's the T-Shadow magical skew, and I got the medium handle, and you can see this handle's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm normally used to. I still use both of them, but for pen turning, at least, this negative rake scraper has become one of my favorite tools, because you can actually see that there's it's a negative rake scraper, because there's an actual angle on there. I also have a Robert Sorby parting tool there. And then when I was getting into turning, again, Bob Lee was helping me, kind of showing me the ropes. So we made 3 tools. So this is a laminated curly maple and Paduke blank that we turned, and then he cut down the metal, and then we put a carbide insert in here. So I've got the round. I've also got a radius square carbide, and then I've also got I need to put a new tip on this one, but this one would normally be the diamond detailer. I broke that carbide tip and haven't replaced it yet. These two are made out of cherry and are also homemade, or at least DIY made. Again, I contacted Bob and said I want a bigger set, because I want to do bigger bowls. And I'll be honest, these two, I have the square, and then this one here is the round carbide. It might do a little better if I put a negative rake cutter on it, but if I'm being completely honest, these are the 2 tools that scare me to death. So I don't use them very often, but I'm also not unhappy that I have them. I'm glad I have them. It's just a learning experience. Here's my 3/8 bowl gouge. This is what got me into traditional tools. And then finally, I have I think this is a 1-inch. Yeah, it's a 1-inch scraper. The steel's a 1/2 inch thick, but it's a 1-inch scraper. This thing is a heavy beast.
Oh yeah.
But it's amazing. I started in carbide because I was afraid of the sharpening system and the expense of the sharpening system. But once I was able to afford the sharpening system, and I was able to see just how good of a quality of cut you could get with a traditional tool, I still use both traditional and carbide, but it's hard to beat a traditional finish on a tool. Yeah. Here's a lot of my lathe, CA glue, acetone, denatured alcohol polishes. There's more blanks down there. There's a few chucks. There's all kinds of material for the lathe. So that's kind of the lathe there. And then that brings us back to our door here. Now, from the door, if we go out the door and turn right, so what would be behind the miter saw there, if you go on the other side of the wall where the miter saw is, That would be where my casting station is. So it's not dusty over there, but that's where I cast a lot of my my pen blanks and turning blanks. And other than that, that's pretty much the shop.
Oh, brilliant.
So it's about, I think I last measured it. It was 10.5 feet wide and 29 feet long. So
it's nice size then.
It's not too bad, but just like anything else, I get greedy and I always want more. But that'll come at some point.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and flip myself back around, or at least the camera anyway. So yeah, there's the shop. Let's see if we can adjust this just a little bit. There we go. There we go.
Brilliant. We've had a few more people come in. The Dutch Turner's in. Who else did I say? It's he just come in. The Wacky Works wood shop. Okay, so moving on. Tools. Is there a tool that you like and a tool that you dislike, or a favorite tool and a least favorite tool?
Yeah. So the favorite tool right now, it is the lathe. But if I had to pick one thing within the lathe, it would have to be that smaller negative rake scraper, just because the finish that I can get straight off that tool is unlike anything else I've ever been able. Whoa, let's back up. That finish. It's been a long day. I've been talking a lot.
We can't edit it now, by the way.
No, it is what it is. But no, my favorite is that negative rake scraper, just because the finish I can get off that tool is unlike anything that I've been able to get before. So right now I'm really enjoying that. The tool that I'm really not a fan of, those large carbides. If you get a catch with those large carbides, it'll send you into the next week. But honestly, there are obviously other tools that I always want to upgrade, and there's always that next tool that I want to get. But for right now, I do have my list, but I'm also not in bad shape in terms of tools.
That's good. I mean, I've heard there's a lot of turners that I've interviewed like this on the Invasion that they all dislike that square carbide. I love it. I love mine.
I was going to say I use my radius square negative rake carbide, that negative, the radius square one.
Yeah,
that's negative rake. I have no problem with that. But there is something about that large square, just standard carbide insert that just, I don't know if I'm obviously I'm doing something wrong, but
no, not necessarily.
It scares me, but that's just me personally.
Yeah. Okay.
We find a couple of ways to cope.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with those square carbides, you've got, they're sharp because they're carbides.
Yeah,
but you've got 3 cutting sides, haven't you? So if you can jab it in the wrong way if you're not careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so direction of channel. Where do you hope to be in a year? I mean, you're on 1,070 odd subscribers now. Do you hope to make money from this, or?
That is the long-term goal, but right now, getting the views has just it's been a little difficult. That's part of the reason I started the live streams, is to increase that view count. But I actually just discontinued the live streams, just because life is starting to get super busy. We're going back to work. My wife and I are getting ready for our first child, so she'll be here in, she's at least due to be here in a little over a month. So we're trying to get ready for that. So at least for right now, I'm stepping back from the live streams, but I do want to monetize. So it is in the plans. I've got my list of videos that I want to shoot and film. I just have to get back on the horse and actually do it.
Yeah. And when the little one comes along, that's when life is really going to start to get hard.
Yeah, we're super excited, but
Yeah.
I also know time's going to be limited, but it's also going to be completely worth it. So,
Oh, definitely, yeah.
absolutely no complaints.
It's a shock to the system, but it's worth every second.
Absolutely.
Okay. So camera and editing software. What do you use to record and edit?
Yeah, so for recording, I put an SD card into a camcorder. It's a Canon. I think it's an HF 8000, or I forget the numbers or whatever, but it's a Canon something or other camcorder. I shoot on that, and then I take the SD card, put it in my laptop, and then I was using HitFilm Express, but up until recently, and until the last maybe 3 or 4 or 5 videos on my channel, I switched over to DaVinci Resolve 16. And for what I'm doing, I absolutely love DaVinci Resolve right now.
All right. It's I mean, once you get comfortable with a program like that, like I am with Shotcut, and you start to learn all the shortcut keys, it makes that part easier. I mean, I love the editing side of things anyway. I just enjoy it. But
yeah,
I didn't always.
Yeah, I have no problem necessarily with the editing. I just have a problem getting to the point where I need to, like, once I have sat down and I've started to edit, I'm fine. But just getting to the point where I'm ready to sit down and edit, that just, for whatever reason, that takes me forever.
You'll be here like this soon. The baby trying to edit at the same time.
Yes, absolutely.
Brilliant. Right, we're nearly at the end. Shout outs. Have you got any shout outs? And I will try and remember to put them in the description.
Yeah, my shout out is actually going to be Bob from Rjb Woodturner. Just because he has been such an inspiration. He is the main reason I'm into pen turning as heavy as I am. And just a quick side story with him. I actually met him at the first Mid-Ohio Valley Pen Turners Gathering. It was funny because the only reason I knew that the Pen Turners Gathering was happening was because he made an announcement on his channel that he was going. And I said, Mid-Ohio Valley Pen Turners Gathering. I said, it's got Ohio in it, so it can't be that far away from me. So it turns out it's like 2.5 hours. So I told my wife, I'm like, hey, we got to go. Like, I am, admittedly, it was, I knew Bob Lee was going to be there. Bob Blanford from Rjb Woodturner was going to be there. And then that's actually when, so I got down there, went to the first one. And that's actually when my eyes were open that there was an entire community of pen turners out there, almost like I don't know if it's the wrong term, but like a subset of makers, that there's just an entire community for pen turners. And that community, along with the YouTube community and just the maker community in general, has been insanely generous and kind over the last however many years I've been doing this.
Yeah. I'm always a great advocate of the community, it's brilliant. Let's have a little look. We've got a few comments. Where did I see? Oh, so Rated R wood turning. I don't mind the square, but an angle is mostly just using the point. That's right. I haven't got my glasses on, so I can barely see what I'm reading. Toonpish, Wendy from Toonpish has got a question for you. Is this shop in your basement? Which I think you've already said it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is in my basement. We actually put up the plywood wall that was here, or that is here. We actually put that in so we can, so I could at least contain some of the dust onto half of the basement, because the other half is resin casting, and then we also, that's also, the other half is where we do laundry and other things like that. So, so it is a basement. It's really half a basement shop. So yeah, that's where I work.
Cool. Tim's How to Make is in the chat, and also Wooden. So, have you got another shout out? Was a couple that you wanted to?
So the other one is not. It's different. One of the other things that I've recently got into and gotten interested in is grilling and smoking different foods. So
nice.
Smokin' Joe's Pit Barbecue does some awesome work. He has a bunch of videos on grilling and smoking meat and just different kinds of recipes. And so for that, my second shout out would be him.
Brilliant. Well, send me the links and I'll chuck them in the description.
For sure.
I have a couple of shout outs this week. First of all, where are you? Dale from Maple Tree Studios. Dale is 37 subscribers away from hitting that first 1K. So I'm really excited for Dale. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Dale, which is highly unlikely, head over and give him your support, and also share it. Get your friends and family, even if you've got to bully them into subscribing to him. I'll support you. My second shout out is for someone new to the community, which I'm hoping to get on here next week if he'll come on, that is. And his name is, let's just find him. Put him on screen. So there you go. So it's a Wacky Works Workshop. He is only on 17 subscribers. So I'm sure we can help this guy out. He's a really nice guy. I believe he and his wife will be doing some kind of channel together. So if you can head over, check him out, I would really appreciate it. And that's it. Unless there's anything you want to add, or anyone wants to ask in the chat.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. This has been fun.
You're very welcome. It's a shame that we've had to do it twice.
Hey, there could be worse things.
Yeah. But then again, I've done that many of these invasions now, and after the fact, after it's recording, it's gone live and all that, they say, "Oh crap, I forgot this, or I should have done this, or I should have done that." Well, you've had the perfect opportunity to do that there,
right?
So, but from what I saw, I think it was a carbon copy of the first one that we did.
It was pretty close. It was pretty close, maybe with a little less,
Yeah.
Maybe with a little less mess ups.
All right, yeah. Right then. Oh, we've got where are we? Damo was just coming to chat just at the very end. Sorry, Damo, you'll have to rewatch it. Anyway, so thanks for allowing us into your world and poking
anytime.
about a little bit. And thanks to everybody in the chat that's turned out an hour late to be nosy. Right.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And I'll see you all Tuesday. Oh, no, you won't. Actually, while I'm on, this Saturday is the craft fair, I think it's called, where I don't know if you watched the last month's, where there was like 24 hours of crafting. This week I'll be on in the morning. I think it's probably about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for you though, when I'm on. So, but nice. I'll anyone that follows me on Instagram, which is there, I will leave links on there to this Saturday's live shows. So I think there's about 12 people doing it. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you there, hopefully.